Let's take a look at Delphix Compliance Services for Microsoft Fabric. You can see here that we're going to pull data from a Snowflake database. We are then discovering sensitive data in that data set, masking and storing that data inside of Fabric Lakehouse, where we can analyze and train, and we'll get into that. So for right now, let's take a look at this discovery step. What you'll see is our source data first, and it includes a number of columns that could be considered PII: first name, last name, birth date. But it has some really great data for analysis: salary, loan purpose, final status, did they get or get declined for a loan. We want to be able to do reporting, machine learning, and other operations without exposing that sensitive privacy data. And so when I take a look at the profiling step, you can see on the left-hand side all of the columns laid out from that source data set, along with our profiling results. What's the data type? What kind of data is it? What's the max length? And then did we identify that it could be PII? If we do identify that it could be PII, we also attempt to assign an algorithm for masking. Now, in this case, I only went with algorithms to hide the social security number as well as mask the first name, last name, and date of birth. So let's go into the masking step and see what happens. So just like before, we start with our source data. That source data looks like we saw before, where we've got first name, last name, date of birth, all of that. We go back and we just take a quick look at our rule set. This is the rule set that we found during discovery last time, and let's run masking. So once masking is run, you can see the first names and last names have all been masked with realistic but fictitious values. Social went ahead and redacted. That's the algorithm we chose. But for first name and last name, we chose to replace those with realistic but fictitious values. And we chose to date shift date of birth. So let's go into our data lake and actually take a look at this. So the first thing we'll take a look at is the rule set table here first. This is, again, those rules that we used to apply masking. And you can see the profiled algorithm choice and then the assigned choices on the far right. Now let's look at the source table. In the source table, you can see the first name, last name, and birth date. And what we're going to do is sort by salary descending so that we can get a view of Morley Hasley, born December 14th, 1932. That is our first record here, is Morley Hasley. And we're going to take a look at the masked set and sort the same way. And we can see the same loan amount, but now it's Sandra Avila, born December 30th, 1932. We did a small date shift and we replaced the first and last name. Now, what that allows us to do is preserve a highly valuable set of data that we can then immediately pass into things like experiments for training machine learning models. Really, the goal here is that we can protect sensitive data, protect our PII, and the next step can always be action. In this case, an experiment that will allow us to save a machine learning model. Right? And so thanks to the power of Fabric and the ability to take that mass data set and generate a notebook that allows us to do whole-scale regression testing in minutes, it's extremely powerful. And it can be part of a very clean and easy to use workflow. And let's just take a look at that workflow, by the way. If we go into a masking pipeline view, you can see where we have been able to bring it all into a row. We start with ingesting from Snowflake, discover sensitive data, mask and load, and then validate results, all as one contiguous pipeline. Right, so those are the steps we saw using Dataflow Gen 2 previously, now brought into the pipeline view, and look at that, the output in the validation is showing our masked values. This is really exciting for us. We're excited to bring Delphix Compliance Services into Microsoft Fabric, where you can ingest from over 170 different data sources and then pass it through a secure profile and masking capability that spits out clean, ready-to-use data on the other side that you can immediately tie into your analytic, reporting, or other workloads.